Speedrunning intro here. Missions. We all definitely heard of them, and there's a lot to choose from. So in this video, I'm going to be ranking them. Why? Well, I'm going to be totally honest. I'm waiting for the Gatling gun tower to appear tomorrow, and I just want to record something just in case I can't make a video on it this week. But anyways, focusing back onto the missions, I'm going to be ranking them on 3 categories. I'm going to be ranking the missions in terms of difficulty. Hopefully they should be balanced. I'll be ranking the rewards to see if it's worth doing the mission. And I will be doing them in a specific order. I'll be doing mission skins first, followed up by the fallen skins, and finally the phantom skins. This is going to be a nightmare for me to edit, but anyways, I hope you enjoy. I don't really have any complaints with the skin at all. I mean, other than it taking forever to get in the first place, and for some reason it loses its hat at level 3, I don't really have any complaints with it at all. I think it's a very solid skin. And I might even argue that it is probably one of the best ranger skins, to be totally honest. Very solid skin. I'm going to give it a low A tier. My PC! While recording the footage, my computer ended up freezing, but back to the skin, I do think it's pretty nice. I know a lot of people don't really like it as much because, well, it's not really that original, but I still really like it. I like how it's based off the nuclear monster. I wouldn't say it's the best skin, though. I would say it's a solid mid to high A tier. Ah yes, the first skin I went for. It doesn't change much throughout the upgrades, which is a bit odd, but even then the design of it is pretty solid in my opinion. I will say though, doing Space City instead of Cyber City on Fallen mode is a bit of an odd choice, but hey, it's not too bad. Because it doesn't change much throughout the upgrades though, I can't really give it anything higher than a B tier.
Destroy the weak!
One of the longest missions, that's also probably one of the most annoying, for a relatively bad skin, to be totally honest with you. Like, base model alone is already pretty bad. Nothing changes throughout the levels, and even max one is still not the best. I mean, I like it getting bigger, I guess, but besides that, literally nothing is going with it. I'm gonna have to give it a C tier. To be totally honest, this is probably one of my favorite skins design-wise. I mean, it's Doom. What do you expect? I will say, though, that having to do Infernal Abyss on Fallen mode is cruel and unusual punishment, but the skin is pretty good. No way is it worth it, though. Just settle for the Vigilante or the Phantom skin. I'm going to give it a B tier, though. Now, I actually got the skin before missions were actually a thing, so I didn't actually have to suffer. But even though it does look very difficult, I do think it's worth it since Roadrunner is definitely one of, if not the best ranger skin out of all of them. And while you might argue otherwise, I personally have to give it an S tier. Fallen Cowboy is probably one of the best skins for the tower in my opinion. Really only comparable to the Bounty Hunter, but that costs Robux obviously. I just really like the Fallen Cowboy skin, to be totally honest. For Accelerator, they could have done so much more with the design and they chose this. I mean, it's okay, but it's definitely not the best for the Accelerator. For Engineer, it is probably not only the best Engineer skin, but probably the best Fallen skin, to be totally honest. And for Fallen Mortar, it's okay. It's not complicated and it's relatively easy to get. For Cowboy, I have to give it an A tier. For Engineer, an S tier. For Accelerator, a B tier. And for Mortar, we'll give it a B tier as well. Fallen Scout is alright, I guess. There's a bit too much happening in the early levels for me personally. And I don't know, it's just off compared to most other Fallen skins. For Fallen Minigunner, oh my god, is this thing annoying. The third mission alone was so annoying, I didn't even beat it legitimately. I just paid for it. And I don't regret it. And for Fallen Commander, I'm kind of in between. I don't really like the design of it in the early levels, but once you get to like level 1 or 2, then it's pretty good. It doesn't get good until max, though, in my personal opinion. Plus, it's relatively easy to get. For Scout, I'll give it a B tier. For Minigunner, I'll give it a D tier because even though it's good, it's just God. And for Commander, let's just give it an A tier. For Fallen Brawler, it might be the fact that it doesn't have arms, but I'm personally not that much of a fan of it. But outside of that, I do think it is a decently good model, though. For Necromancer, it's good until you get to max with the skeletons. I don't like the brown hood at all. It was like a dark gray. It would be pretty good. It's just, it misses the dot so hard. And for Fallen Warden, I don't know what's wrong with it, but something's off with it tiny bit. Definitely the best out of the three, in my personal opinion. For Brawler, I'll give it a B tier. For Necromancer, I'll give it a higher B tier. And for Warden, I'll give it a, let's just give it an A tier to be safe. Again with the brown hood for Sledger. You have to be kidding me. I mean, at least it's probably one of the best Sledger skins. Man, the brown hood just ruins it. For Medic, it's pretty good in my opinion. I think it might actually be the best Medic skin, simply because of the special effects it gives and the unique sound effects. And for Militant, it's okay. It's not good, it's not bad, it's neutral. For Sledger, I have to lower it down to a B tier. For Medic, S tier, easiest S tier of my life. And for Militant, let's just give it a neutral C tier. Phantom Minigunner was relatively easy to get, and is also a decently good skin in my personal. I do like its final upgrade, it is pretty cute in my opinion. As for Phantom Commander, yeah, that skin took me an actual day to get. Personally, I wouldn't grind for it again, I would just pay for it with great. But the design of it is pretty cool. I'll give Minigunner A tier, and because I really like the Phantom Commander skin, I'm going to give it an S tier. Anyways, that's all of the mission skins right. Do you agree with my opinion? Yes or no? It doesn't matter. Debate in the comments if you want. But I hope you enjoyed the video.